I'm Jazzy from Fat Pencil Studio.
Today I want to talk about the importance of sourcing the original video footage. The most common way that footage is degraded is when someone has taken a video of a video. Here are some of the problems that can arise with that type of footage.
So I have a few examples here, and you can kind of see the difference between the original and what happens when you take a video of a video. On the left is going to be the original footage, and on the right will be the video of a video. And so I'll just play this clip here. And so right away in this video, you can tell that the right video, the video of a video, is overexposed. And this often happens when you take a video of a video, and sometimes it's overexposed and sometimes it's vastly underexposed. So it's going to be much lighter or much darker. And that can be a problem when you're trying to look at fine-tuned details. So as an example for this video, let's say we wanted to hone in on the license plate of this van. So we have these images here, and as you can see on the right side, it's a lot blown out, and you can see the reflections from the sun, and it's really hard to see exactly what's going on here. It's also hard to see what's going on in the original footage, but you can see that there's much more that we can work with enhancing and clarity and working with things like that to see if there's anything that we could glean from here. But with this version, it's almost useless. In this next example, you can see an example of a really harsh light condition, and I'll play this video and we can kind of, I'll show you some of the things that I found. So the same as the last video, this video is also a bit more exposed than the other one, and there's also some framing issues that is happening here, and this is common when you take a video of a video. But I want to go back a little bit and show you one thing that I really saw here. So as you can see, if you watch this this kid on a bike here, as he goes behind this tree, on the left footage, the original, you can see how far he goes down the street, much further than you can on the right. So on the right, he disappears at around this point. You can still kind of see him in this footage here. So let me see if we can play it again. So you can see him here, and then you can also see him here. If you pay close attention, you can see him still here, but in this footage, he's pretty much disappeared. So if you were watching closely, you could still see him here, and then he disappears behind a tree. So in the last video, it was a bit nuanced to be able to see what exactly was happening. It was a very small thing, but that's really what we're looking for when we're analyzing these videos, are these little minute details. And so when you have the original footage, you have the best chance of being able to see those little things out, because we are always looking for different things in these videos, and so being able to have as much information as possible is the best thing. But in this particular video, there are a lot of discrepancies. You can see that this is a moving camera, which also changes things as well. And so I'll play it, and then we'll discuss. So in this particular video, the original is on the left, and the video of the video is on the right, and you can see firsthand that it's already very dark. And the other thing that you can notice in this video is that the skew is off. So you can see the road is turning this angle in the original footage, and in this footage it's turning this angle. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit. And also the darkness is the thing. So let's say that we were looking for a particular person that was walking on this path. In this footage, you could totally see if there was someone that would be there, and you might also be able to see what they look like or what they were wearing. But in this footage to the right, you can see that it would be very, very hard to tell, and there would be not a lot that we could do as far as brightening or enhancing. We could brighten it and enhance it, but you wouldn't get the best result as you would with, of course, having the original footage. You can also see in this footage that it's much more blurry. So even though this camera is moving, you can see that this tree, very blurry and a lot of motion blur, but this tree, which is a video of a video, is much more blurry than the original version. You also see that there's framing issues. It's very hard to keep your hands steady when you're taking a video of a video, and so oftentimes you will jostle a bit, and you can see here as the video plays how it's going up and down here if you pay attention to the top here. So all the other examples that we've been looking at were relatively high quality. I took them with a modern smartphone, and I also took the video with a modern smartphone. And so, as you can see, there was still significant quality loss between the two, and especially in the camera that was moving. This quality of footage that we're going to look at now would be typical for a surveillance camera in stores or outside apartment complexes or anything like that. And you will notice that there will be, if you start off with footage that is already of questionable quality, when you take a video of a video, it's only going to degrade that video even more, and going to be much harder to be able to discern those nuanced details that you're looking for, or be able to fine-tune things, or zoom in. So this is the original footage here. Play one more time. And this is the video of a video of that same footage. I'll play it a second time as well. You can see it's very much overexposed. It was in the original footage, things were very, very blurry. And when you take a video of a video, they lost even more quality, and they were even much harder to see the details. Here. The other thing to note is the frame rate of this video. So it is not 30 frames per second, which would be a standard frame rate that a modern smartphone would record at. If you had the original footage of this video, you would probably have some metadata that would tell you exactly what this video was shot in, with the frame rate. And if you didn't have it, of course, we have the ability to drop the unnecessary frames, but this process just takes more time, and it would be much easier for us to work with, and take a lot less time if we had the original footage, instead of having to take a video that was shot at 30 frames per second and then going through and then chopping out all the frames that we don't need. So when you're taking a video of a video, there's always going to be some quality loss, some details that are not going to get picked up. This happens for a couple of reasons. There's a sense of urgency when when the investigators need to do work, and when the law enforcement needs to gather information. So they're just trying to get it as quickly as they can. A lot of these surveillance systems overwrite, and oftentimes it's not, the different systems overwrite on different time frequencies. The other reason that this happens is because of ease of complication. Many surveillance systems require proprietary software to play back and export their videos. It's not always straightforward how to do the handoff of the footage, including the specific software needed to run it. Depending on where the camera is located and the time in which the law enforcement needs to retrieve the information, there may not always be someone on site that can make the handoff and work with the system. And there's lots of different reasons as to why this happens. I'm going to list the different conditions that will make the quality of the video that you're capturing on your phone variable and not accurate. There's glare from the environment that you're located in. There's skew, as you saw with the moving vehicle video, where there was one video was going to the side and the other one. It's because you're not sure exactly that you're trying to take a video trying to take it straight on, but you might have the camera skewed, and you will get a different result if that's the case. Extra shake. We are not robots, and as humans, we move around all the time, and so it's very hard to hold ourselves completely still when we're trying to. You could have a dirty or hazy lens on the camera, and that could also produce a inaccurate result or a result that is not as good as the original would be. The brightness of the screen in which you're recording can also have a big effect, and also the brightness of the room in which you're recording. Of course, if you're recording in a really bright room, or outside, or in a dark room, all these things can affect how the footage that you capture is going to look. Cropping can also be an issue when you're trying to get it exactly in frame, kind of moving up and down with that extra shake, and not getting the best cropping and not always matching the exact aspect ratio. And then there's the bigger issue of the frame rate. A lot of times when the frame rate is off, you're shooting with something that's in 30 frames per second, and you're shooting something that's 15 or 24 frames per second. It's going to be less efficient when trying to calculate slow motion and tracking of different objects that are in the scene. I talked a lot about taking a video of a video and the downsides of that, and that's because that's one of the main reasons that we receive video footage that is not original and that is degraded in quality. But there's another way that you can receive footage that is degraded in quality, and that's when you text videos across different phones. So if someone's taking a video with their phone and you want that video footage at the highest quality possible, you should have them email it to you. Because when you text message a video, most smartphones compress that video down to a very small size, and so the only original footage will be on that person's phone or whatever cloud that their files are uploaded on. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope I've been able to put a finer point on this subject.